ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ ਐਪੀਸੋਡ ਆਫ ਦ ਹਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਸ਼ੋ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਕੈਨ ਹਰਾਰ ਅਤੇ ਟੈਰੀ ਸਟੋਬਰਟ ਨਾਲ। ਇਹ ਸਾਈਕਲਿੰਗ ਫॉर ਡਾਇਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਮੈਂਬਰਸ ਹਨ। ਸਾਈਕਲਿੰਗ ਫॉर ਡਾਇਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਮੁੱਖ ਉਦੇਸ਼ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਡਾਇਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਫੈਲਾਉਣੀ ਅਤੇ ਇਸੇ ਦੇ ਤਹਿਤ ਇਹ ਹਰ ਸਾਲ ਸਾਈਕਲਿੰਗ ਟੂਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਵੱਖਰੇ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਸ਼ਹਿਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ, ਸਕੂਲਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ 'ਤੇ ਐਮਫਸਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਡਾਇਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਿਰਫ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੀ ਕਕੂਨਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਾ ਰਹੀਏ, ਬਾਹਰ ਨਿਕਲ ਕੇ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੋਸਤੀ ਕਰੀਏ। ਇਸੇ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਓ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੇ ਦੋਨੋਂ ਹੀ ਮਹਿਮਾਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਈਕਲਿੰਗ ਫॉर ਡਾਇਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਸਾਲ ਕੀ ਕੁਝ ਪਲਾਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਕੁਝ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ। ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਦਾ। ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ। Thank you. So Terry, we would like to start with you. How did you come to know about Cycling for Diversity, and why do you think there is a need for spreading this message of diversity?
Well, I've known Ken through his column in my community mission, and I went to one of the Cycling for Diversity kickoffs, and I was really impressed with the message that they were saying then, and I just knew in my heart of hearts that this is something I wanted to do. So I approached Ken and asked if he would have any need for someone who isn't a cyclist,
Right.
but how can I help in other ways? And so I became a driver last year, and I also did some public speaking.
Right.
And our targets were children in all ages of the groups. We had kindergarten, we had middle school, we
Right.
had high school, and we also went to some universities.
Right.
My message about diversity is maybe a little bit different. I'm hearing impaired. I'm 80% deaf in both ears. And so growing up like that, it was a challenge because it's a hidden disability.
Right.
And when somebody looks at me, I look like I fit in the normal demographic of what the normal white
Right.
person is. But it was a challenge. And so I can understand some challenges when you and bullying is another aspect of diversity that I'm really
Right.
interested in spreading that message about.
Wonderful. Thanks for being a part of this organization, because the right message goes that we are all together. We'll talk in details about it.
Right.
So Ken, virtually everyone knows you. You have
Sure.
been here many times, and
Yes.
Cycling for Diversity has been spreading this message for the past few years. Now, over the years, what kind of changes are you finding? Because when you started, it was just a few people, but now the message is spreading across. The cities have also started declaring some weeks as Cycling Week and
Sure.
Diversity Week. So what changes are you finding? And of course, you were prompted to start this message of diversifying the information that we all are one despite our different colors. So what changes have you found over the years, and what are your plans for future?
Well, the changes I've found over the years are people are very excited about it. People are getting more and more excited, and that's exactly what we want. We want people to accept the message and spread the message, and
Right.
that's what we're finding. And young kids want to be part of the team, which is very exciting for us. We want to encourage everyone, not just students, but adults as well, and seniors, to start talking about the message.
Right.
You know, that's all it takes, Harpreet, is just to say, maybe I need to think about this a little bit. And that's how change happens.
Right.
So, yeah.
And when we talk about the demographics changing, as I said in the beginning also, but another challenge what we are facing is that while people from other countries are coming, that inclusiveness is not being seen much. Everybody who comes wants to settle down where their own people are there, and that is creating some issues and challenges in the future also. It might be a major issue. So how do you see to that, and how does Cycling for Diversity try to kind of create awareness about this particular issue
Sure.
also?
If you look at the early pioneers, Harpreet, when they came to these countries in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, and you look at how they lived their lives and how they were very much inclusive and want to be part of the community, volunteering,
Right.
Not just in their own little communities, but in the broader mainstream communities. I think we have a lot to learn from our pioneers.
Right.
If you look at the history, and I encourage people to look at the history of the Punjabi community here in Canada. It's great. It's fascinating.
Right.
And that's kind of the model I think we need to go back to.
Right.
Is we need to get people involved in Main Street activities. Be proud of your community, heritage, culture, But let's not forget that we have neighbors.
Right.
We should have friends from different cultures and religions, and encourage each other to come to each other's homes.
Right.
That's very important. As being a columnist, I spearheaded this project in 2011, and that, you know what, a message needs to be created. And the support has been enormous. Our community, the Punjabi community, has supported Cycling for Diversity, and I'm very grateful for that.
Terry, until unless you interact with someone, you cannot understand what their culture is, what their behavior is, because lots of myths gets associated, white skin, dark skin, all those kind of thinking in our mind. So with your interaction with the other communities, what do you feel? How did it change yourself? You yourself, as you said, you are 80% deaf. Of course, there's another challenge which you face, but in the mainstream community, while you look absolutely fine, as you said, but of course, when you speak and when you interact, people come to know. But until unless you interact, you cannot come to know. You seem to be absolutely normal. So similarly with the minorities also, or the ethnic minorities which are living over here, they also have some challenges and issues. They have this thinking that will we be accepted by the mainstream?
Right.
And the mainstream has different myths about those particular cultures. So how has Cycling for Diversity experience been pivotal in your life in changing some perspectives? Did you have some different perspectives before, and after coming and joining and meeting with the people, there has been some different change?
Well, that's a very good question. Before Cycling for Diversity, I was aware that there were challenges with cultural interactions in our community,
Right.
especially in Abbotsford. We were really having some serious problems with it. One of the examples that I use is when my mum looked after my oldest daughter when she was in kindergarten. And I quite often speak about this. And my mum actually asked my daughter, she said, I didn't realize you had so many different colored skins in your, and this is how she worded it, in your kindergarten class. And my daughter looked at my mother and said, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
I don't see anything like that.
Right.
And so for me, even now, the older generation is the generation that is firm in their
Beliefs.
And that's hard to change.
Right.
But I see that happening because I see young people that we talk to,
Right.
I see them going to their parents and going, wait a minute here, this isn't right, or we shouldn't be thinking like that.
Right.
And sometimes that's all it takes to plant that seed of change.
Right.
And so being part of the Cycling for Diversity team, I'm really proud and pleased to be part of such a diverse group.
Right.
And I have met some really wonderful people who are not of my culture.
Right.
And I'm learning more and more.
That's wonderful.
And that's what it's all about. And I think when young people see the group of us standing up there,
Right.
and we are all physically different. We have
Right.
First Nations, we have young people, we have older people. And so it's really nice to see that coming together. And I see that young people recognize that.
Wonderful, and that's what Cycling for Diversity targets, and that's why schools and colleges are targeted during your week-long cycling tour, whereby this message of diversity is spread. We'll go for a short break, come back, and we'll discuss in detail as to what are the future plans, how during the past year, what all you have done, and what are your future plans after this break. So we'll go for a small break. जो हम तक गलबात हुई टैरी स्टॉबर्ट ਅਤੇ ਕੈਨ ਹਰਾਰ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਗੱਲ ਕਹੀ ਹੈ, ਟੈਰੀ ਸਟੋਬਰਟ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ 80% ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਾਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦਾ, ਡੈਫ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ, ਪਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਵਜੂਦ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੋਕ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਨੇ ਮੈਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਸਹੀ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਹਾਂ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਵਿਜ਼ੂਅਲੀ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮਸ ਨੇ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ, ਅਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਫਿੱਟ ਹੋਣਾ ਕਲਚਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਫਿੱਟ ਹੁੰਦੇ। ਕਹਿੰਨੇ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਕਹੀ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਈਕਲਿੰਗ ਫॉर ਡਾਇਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਮਕਸਦ ਹੈ, ਡਾਇਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਉਣ ਦਾ, ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਕਾਮਯਾਬ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਥਿੰਕਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੇਂਜ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈਗਾ। ਮੈਂ ਸਵਾਲ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਸੀ ਟੈਰੀ ਸਟੋਬਰਟ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ 'ਚ ਕੀ ਪਰਿਵਰਤਨ ਆਇਆ, ਕਿ ਕਿਉਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮਿਥਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਸੀ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਕਲਚਰਸ ਬਾਰੇ, ਜਦੋਂ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਜੋ ਡੈਮੋਗ੍ਰਾਫਿਕਸ ਚੇਂਜ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਸਾਈਕਲਿੰਗ ਫॉर ਡਾਇਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਨਾਲ ਰਲਣ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਮਿਲੇ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਜਿਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ ਨੇ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਕੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮਸ ਨੇ, ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਇਸ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ। Once again, welcome back to the program. ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕੈਨ ਹਰਾਰ ਅਤੇ ਟੈਰੀ ਸਟੋਬਰਟ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਤੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਈਕਲਿੰਗ ਫॉर ਡਾਇਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਦੂਰ ਦੂਰ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਆਓ ਹੋਰ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਸਾਲ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਪਲਾਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕਿਉਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਹੈ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਮਾਜਾਂ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਦੂਸਰਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਇੰਟਰੈਕਟ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ। ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫਿਰ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਹੀ ਮਹਿਮਾਨਾਂ ਦਾ। So before the break, like Terry said, that lots of isms and lots of things which she had in her mind before, once she started interacting with people, those things have come forward, and she feels blessed to be a part of this mission whereby you're trying to spread this message. Now, during the past year, what all has been done? Is just 1 week when you go out for cycling, that is the only thing that you do in Cycling for Diversity, or there have been other programs also during the year?
Well, the demand has been great. I get calls on a regular basis for our team or members to come out and speak to kids. And just recently we had an essay contest.
Right.
Cycling for Diversity Foundation sponsored an essay contest with the Abbotsford News, talking about the essay question about diversity and inclusion. And it was great. We had about a dozen schools participate, write in. We had hundreds of essays and a coloring contest. It gets people thinking all year round. Diversity is not just about one day, one moment. It's about living it each and every day.
Right.
So we had that essay contest in October and November, and what we talked about with the kids is that there's no excuse that we should not have friends from outside our own culture.
So how do you make sure that this thing goes into the mind and it's not just theoretical?
Yeah.
They understand and start working on this also.
Well, it's not an easy strategy. First of all, we're discussing it, encouraging it through the paper,
Right.
And hopefully they'll take it home to their parents. Each kid should have a friend from a different culture.
Right.
There's no excuse otherwise. Sometimes the parents understand diversity, but the kids don't. Sometimes the kids understand it and the parents don't.
Right.
Whatever situation is, it should be encouraged from both sides. And parents should, a common example I use throughout the ride, Harpreet, is at a birthday party. This Caucasian family approached me and said, you know what, the South Asian kids don't invite my kid to their homes or their birthday parties. So I try to explain that to our community.
Right.
It's important.
Right.
You should invite each other to your homes. That's how we were raised. And it's important to continue that. Because if we don't, Harpreet, we're going to have some further challenges as we move forward.
Absolutely, no doubt about
And that's our main message about Cycling for Diversity.
Right.
And so
this year, what are you planning? What are your plans for this year? Every year you have the Cycling for Diversity cycling tour, as well as there's a declaration of a particular week by the municipal corporations that this is a diversity week. So what are the plans this year?
So May 18th and May 24th is Cycling for Diversity Week in British Columbia of this year. And again, we'll be leaving, we're still in the planning stages, but we're thinking of not heading to Victoria this year, but changing our route a little bit to hit some new municipalities, starting from Mission, doing that side of the river, the north side of the river, and then coming around and looping around and doing the south side of the river, and including new cities like Chilliwack, North Van, West Vancouver. So those are some of the new things. And also, we've been getting a lot of interest from around the globe. People from Kenya want us to give us T-shirts for the kids there for the orphanage. So the foundation will be getting T-shirts there.
Right.
We'll be getting interest from also from India. We plan to go to India sometime maybe in September.
Right.
A few of the members and doing a few rides in the schools there, talking about diversity, discrimination, intercaste issues that we need to do there.
Right.
Nobody's perfect. We all have little biases in our lives, but we need to be reminded, how can we correct that?
Right.
So I'm very humbled that the interest is growing. We're looking for always new people to come. If people have a message or something that they want to be part of our team, we're very welcoming to have them part.
Right. Yeah. And Terry, of course, this year again, you will be a major support in the form of taking those cycles wherever required in the big vehicles. So with your experience, as you have said, there's a dire need, and this message needs to be given to the children because they're the foundation. If it goes into their mind, then definitely over the years, over the decades, things will change. Yeah. You're hopeful, but along with that, what would be your message to your parents also? Because many a times, if the message goes to the youngsters, the parent gets, they have their own thinking, as you said in the beginning also. They have the firm beliefs, and it's very difficult to come out of those beliefs. Right. So what would be your message towards the end?
To older people?
Yes.
Basically, older people can handle a little bit more in your face. And so I would say to most older people that they need to step out of their comfort zone and make an effort, because we are the example for young people.
Right.
And if they don't see us making the effort, why should they?
Right.
And so, just a quick commentary, I noticed a big difference when we come into Vancouver. Some of the schools there, it's very apparent that they have friends of other cultures,
Right.
and they already know
Right.
about diversity. So it's really interesting to see the different cultures and the different municipalities
Right.
and how it works with them, because I see different things in every municipality.
Right.
So there is a message out there, and we just have to keep hammering away at it. One of the other new initiatives that keeps cycling for diversity in people's minds is we are considering starting some junior teams in key schools,
Okay.
and they do projects
Okay.
that reflect
The diversity.
diversity.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And
That's a
so
very good
that's
thing.
maybe a new initiative that we're going to really work hard on getting that message out to the schools.
Right.
And a lot of kids are really excited about being
Must
part
be, of
stuff
course,
like
when
that.
projects come, of course, parents' involvement is there, because
Yeah.
projects cannot be
That's
completed
right.
without
That's
the parents' involvement,
Yeah.
and definitely that message of diversity will delve deep into it.
Yeah.
Towards the end, where can people get some more information if they want?
Actually, we got our website up now. www.cycling4diversity.ca.
Right.
It's a beautiful website. All the information is on there.
Right.
And we look forward to hearing from people.
Thank you very much.
And you know, we want people to step up and also sponsor our team too, as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
We're looking for sponsors as well. And to do it-
Donations are always welcome.
Yeah.
Of course. Thank you very much,
Thank
and
you.
best wishes.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for having us.
ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਈਕਲਿੰਗ ਫॉर ਡਾਈਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਮਹਿਮਾਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਡਾਈਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਸਾਲ ਮਈ ਦੇ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਸਾਈਕਲਿੰਗ ਟੂਰ ਮੁੜ ਤੋਂ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਇਸ ਵਾਰ ਇਹ ਵੈਂਕੂਵਰ ਆਈਲੈਂਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣਗੇ। ਇਹ ਹੋਰ ਨਵੇਂ ਸ਼ਹਿਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਟਾਰਗੇਟ ਕਰਨਗੇ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਚਿਲਵੈਕ ਹੋਇਆ, ਨਾਰਥ ਵੈਂਕੂਵਰ, ਵੈਸਟ ਵੈਂਕੂਵਰ, ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਆਓ ਇਹ ਡਾਈਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਰ ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਈਏ, ਤੇ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਲਚਰ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਦੋਸਤ ਮਿੱਤਰ ਆਪਣਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਬਣਾਓ। ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਸਕਰੀਨ ਤੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੋਈ ਜੋ ਇਹ ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ ਹੈ cyclingfordiversity.ca, ਇੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਲੈਣੀ ਹੋਈ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ।